Welcome to the Rolling Around podcast. Join me, retired Stockton PD James Nance, for exciting conversation and tons of interesting guests.
Let's hear your radio voice.
Hello? 2 years later, she had a litter of 8. 0.9% financing for 60 months on credit approval. Member FDIC.
This is the Rolling Around podcast.
Are we ready? We're going? All right. Welcome to the Rolling Around podcast. We have today, and I'm excited about this, we have today Mr. Johnny Stockton from 105.9 The Bull. That's right. Let's hear your radio voice.
Hello?
I don't believe that. I've heard you. That is not the radio voice I'm familiar with. Not it.
Well, glad to be here, man. I'm nervous as hell, believe it or not.
You are not nervous. I can't believe that. How long have you been in the radio game?
Oh my gosh, let's see, 83, so that makes it going on 43 years now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I know.
Right on. Where'd you start out at?
K-Joy.
K-Joy. I remember K-Joy.
Oh my gosh, that's where my love of broadcasting started as well.
Is that right?
Because I grew up not too far from there. And I guess I can start with that story, huh?
You can start, yeah. Where are you from?
This is you. Stormy night back in. It was 1972. I was 7 years old. Came home from school one day, and my brother George had won a contest, and he couldn't leave me there, so he drugged me along to go pick up the prize. And it was at the corner of Weber in El Dorado, that fishbowl window. And I walked in there, and see this guy sitting there making smart-ass comments, drinking coffee, playing great music, and getting paid at the same time.
Oh, my God. You could have been a police officer. Yeah,
exactly.
Could have been law enforcement or a DJ, either one.
Up to that point, I always wanted to be a garbage man. Seriously, I wanted to be a garbage man. I was on Captain Delta, which was an old show way before your time. It was like a early morning cartoon show on Channel 13, and they asked me, "So what do you want to do?" I want to be a garbage man. And I'm sure everybody was like, "Oh my God!"
Wow.
But after that, then radio DJ, and it never left my my blood. I always wanted to do it in the worst way, and then when I was 19, I did it in the worst way. But they kept me on anyway.
Where'd you start?
K-Joy. Yeah.
K-Joy.
So when I was
there, that's where you start. K-Joy was it.
I would go and visit throughout the years, and Roy Williams was my boss, and I met him back in the day, and we just became friends. I mean, I've known him since I was a little kid, longer than anybody else in this business, and then he gave me a chance when I was taking radio classes at KSJC, Delta College Radio. And no confidence at all, kind of like now.
Yeah.
And I went in there, hey, here's my tape. Yeah, well, you'll notice that I kind of, I was apologizing for it left and right. And he said, well, I think you need a couple more semesters. Well, when you're 19, that's a whole year. It's like, forget about it. This is not going to happen.
What I need is money. Yeah.
And then Bill Bischofberger, who was working nights at the time, came in to visit me at Chuck E. Cheese, where I met Blair Ulring. That's a story for later on in the full podcast. And he came to me, hey, there's a weekend opening. And I said, he says I need another. The only reason he told you that was because he doesn't think you have the confidence. Go in there with another tape and tell him you're ready. So I went there, here's another tape, Roy. I'm sure you'll notice I've made some improvements. I'm ready to go. And he bought it. So, yeah, I started that weekend, and
that's great.
Weekends for a year, and then full-time overnights as Johnny Midnight.
Johnny Midnight.
Yes, which is a pretty career-limiting name when you think about it.
Well, it depends on what industry you're trying to get into.
That's true. Man, that's true.
You could have gone a couple directions with
it
that name.
It was downtown.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That was, that's Hotel Stockton, right?
Yes. Oh, one of my favorite buildings, if not my favorite building.
It is. It's a great building. I didn't get into it. I didn't get to go. I didn't have an opportunity to go into that building until probably 2 or 3 years into my career, and then I got in there. It's a great building.
And then we had 3 levels of that, the radio station. So sometimes on the overnights, I'd go down into the basement and go through the halls and be, oh, wow, there's all kinds of, the welfare department was in there at the time, social services, whatever they call it.
Right.
And so they had all kinds of old files back there and everything. Then I'd come back before my song ended, and then I'd see the security guys flashing around. I didn't realize I had tripped off some alarms in there. So I was like, I'm not going down there anymore. I was just curious. I'm not
I know we talked. I brought it up last week. I mean, at those hours on the weekend, you could have been the Wolfman Jack from Grease, right? You probably had little teenage kids coming in, not believing you're really Johnny Midnight.
That's right. It sounded much bigger on the radio. It's like, I get that a lot.
Looking, had your icicles there, sticky little
mothers.
buggers. Yeah, sticky little mothers. Such a great scene.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, and then I went to K-Win, and was there for 6 years the first time.
Was K-Win where it is now, or was it somewhere else
on
in
Kelly
town?
Drive. Kelly Drive, right, not too far from Hammer Skate.
Oh, really?
So kind of kitty corner from there.
Yeah.
And then my wife and I moved into condos across the street from there, so I would skateboard to work.
Man, that's great.
And at K-Win, I worked every shift. Started with overnights,
Yeah.
then nights, then afternoons, and then mornings. And then when I became program director, I put myself in middays because can't do it all.
Right.
Yeah, definitely can't do it all well.
Were you Johnny Midnight at K-Win also?
Only
or?
for a little bit. Roger Turnbow, I think you know his son.
His son Dave,
yes.
yeah.
He was my general manager, and he said, you should use your real name. So I transitioned back when it didn't mean that. I used Johnny Midnight Milford and then became Johnny Milford again. And then kind of stuck with that until Bubba hired me over to, pulled me out of retirement at the Bull and said, no, you got to go by Johnny Stockton because you love this city. So Johnny Stockton. I said, all right, that's
fair.
Has a nice ring to it.
All right. So have you always been a DJ in Stockton?
No, I worked in Modesto at 104.
Yeah.
For a little bit, and then KSFM in Sacramento, FM 102.
Oh my goodness!
And,
all right,
yeah.
You've been around. All
but
right.
Always lived in Stockton, so I
Nice.
just made that commute. So yeah, that's
right on.
Yeah.
And there was let's see, there's been K-Joy, there was K-Win, KSTN. Is that right?
yes, that's where I am now.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's always been. Has that always been? That's always been in Stockton,
Yes.
right? I remember.
Oh yeah,
that.
it's always been in that building. Yeah,
Out there at the end of
since 1949, Ralph Avenue.
Yeah, Ralph Avenue. Yeah, dead end.
Yep.
Dead end out there.
And working out there, that's when we police guys would come by when we first started the Bull.
Yeah.
Like Ed with Chaos.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I know you have a.
I'll tell you, Chaos was one of my canine Vian. That was one of his puppies.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah.
That was one of his puppies.
One of the best. Oh man, I just love that dog.
Yeah.
So they would come out and visit, and one of my many dogs, I won't say how many, County, was she's when I started at the Bull. There's a dog there, Zoe, who just celebrated her 12th birthday, and I said, man, if this dog ever has puppies, I want. Well, a year or two later, 2 years later, she had a litter of 8. And we got the runt of the litter, which is perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
It's like this little runt with anxiety, and it's like, this is a Milford. I mean, she fits right into our family, so it's perfect. Runt and anxiety-ridden. It's like, oh, yes.
Right on.
But she's like, she has been the mama of all of our pets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's brought up, she's like the mentor. I don't know if you believe that dogs mentor
Oh, yeah.
other dogs, but also our cats.
Yeah.
I mean, so I mentioned the other day that we have a bunch of cats as well.
Yeah.
And they all just gel so well.
That-
And it's because of Anna, the boxer.
You told me that. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd let a cat around any of my dogs. Oh my goodness.
And I had our first cat when we were a married couple many years ago, was a Cocker Spaniel. And his name was Cuddles, but it should have been Dick.
Yeah.
I
I like it.
Oh my gosh.
Short for Richard, of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
Yeah.
I still have battle scars. I mean, he would be over 40 now, and I still have scars from where he was not to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Wasn't having it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dog, every once in a while, I'd let him out of the car and he's just excited.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Man, he'd come up that leash and I'd say, hey, save those teeth for that guy. You know,
Exactly.
get off my arm. What are you doing?
It's amazing what a leash does. I mean, you put them on the leash, most of the time they become a different
Yeah.
character. But
Yeah.
ours are pretty free range at the house and everything. So yeah.
Do you have one out in the station with you whenever you're out
I
there?
used to take Anna
Yeah.
out there all the time, but now I'm not waking up. When I went to morning, she was like, no,
Yeah.
no. Afternoons, that was fine, but this morning crap, no.
She got into her routine. She likes
Yes.
staying nice and warm.
Exactly. Yes.
Right
She's
on.
smart.
So what is just a great, I know you got to have a great radio story.
Oh,
What
my
do you
gosh.
got? I mean, I can't even imagine. Do Do you take have you ever taken like callers that call in?
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes
Many.
that
Yeah.
is some of the best humor
Yes.
I mean I've ever heard. I mean,
Have fun with
some
with the phone
callers make you feel so normal. You know,
Yes,
so
yes.
normal.
Well, and the fun thing is to record them and then take it all out of context.
Oh yeah, chop it up and put it
Yes,
together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's been done a lot recently.
Yeah. I have a story about my brother Bill, who's passed now, but he would kind of follow me around in radio, and he was working part-time at K-Joy, and he went in there a little inebriated. In fact, he was running the American Top 40. It was a Sunday night, and running the records out of order.
Yeah.
So the countdown was counting up and then down and then all around, and it was getting bad. And he ultimately ended up passing out in a ladies' restroom because they had a nice sofa in there. And there was a bunch of dead air, and nobody could figure out, so they all went down to find out what's going on with the radio station. And they couldn't find him anywhere, and they found him, and he had the logs, the paper logs, and some carts that we used to use. They look like 8-tracks, but commercials and things like that. And he was passed out, and that was his last day there. But
yeah, I would think it was.
the funniest part of that story, or the only funny part of that story, I guess, is one of the commercials on there was for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. So that's what he
starred.
passed out on the couch.
Yeah, he was trying to star in that.
Yeah, my brother.
It's funny. You think back. I mean, I've always listened to. I grew up with. Like my parents listened to 70s country and Conway Twitty and, Buck Owens and all those guys. And then, as you get older, you listen to some other music. I mean, you can get in my playlist and you can hear Hank Williams Jr., Snoop Dogg, Lady Gaga. I mean, you can hear everything in my playlist. I've always enjoyed music,
Eclectic, yeah.
And Casey Kasem, I can tell you.
Right there.
I know. You
American
mentioned
Top
that.
40.
I forgot all about it. What a voice that guy had.
Yeah, very unique.
Yes.
You knew it when you heard him.
That's right. No, he was fantastic. There's a guy I listen to. He's got his own podcast. It's like a daily news thing. And I think part of the reason I listen to him is he's kind of got that little Casey Kasem, cadence to him and the way he speaks, that nasally.
The voice of Shaggy on Scooby-Doo.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, Scoob.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned classic country, and it's interesting because people will ask me, "Oh, you're doing country radio. You grew up listening to Conway Twitty and all that." And it's like, no. Child of the 70s, I listened to the OJs and a lot of soul and pop and things like that. Not country. Sorry, Johnny. I know that's for me. Same to you, buddy.
Oh, man. That's
my favorite picture of Johnny Cash.
Mine too. I'm telling you, that's fantastic.
When Bubba pulled me back into radio, originally we weren't going to do a country format, and then finally, he had me on board to launch this radio station, and then he said, I think we're going to do country. I'm like, oh, man. He goes, no, it'll be great. You on board? And I said, yeah, I'm still on board. He goes, well, here, listen to these stations and get familiar with the music. And I started listening, and I was like, at that time it was called bro country, the current country. And these artists they grew up listening to Snoop, and they grew up listening to hip hop and country. So there was kind of a meld, if not in the music, in the attitude for sure, and the lyrics. And I was like, I kind of like this. And meanwhile, my oldest brother, George, he's like, that's not country, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, I like it. So yeah, that's what helped pull me into it as well, because it's not what I
not what you thought it was gonna be.
Exactly.
Well, it's changed. I mean, it goes through it ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's really good, and other times it's, man, I'm like, how'd this guy get on the radio?
Yeah. And that happens with every music
genre.
Yes, absolutely. You listen, people rock. I mean, when I was a teenager, people would say, rock's dead. Rock is different. Look how much that's changed over the years with the grunge, and then, just all kinds of different changes. Hip hop, same thing. I mean, you can't compare today's hip hop with, the early days of hip hop.
No, Rodney O and Joe Cooley and
yes.
Run DMC and some of those folks.
And it just evolves. Music evolves for better or worse.
Yeah. So, what was it? Did you have a genre that you just really you'd like to go back to, or do you just really enjoy country now?
Well, no, I mean, Honestly, I don't listen to it when I'm at home. I mean,
Yeah.
because I listen to it enough at work. So yeah, when I'm at home, like I said, I listen to the old '70s soul, like Philly soul. Believe it or not, like why Philadelphia? I don't know. That's just what
Philly soul.
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna have to look
Okay,
that
so that's
up.
like
I don't know Philly soul.
OJ's and Teddy Pendergrass
Oh.
and Lou Rawls. It's just kind of it's like
All right.
a lot of artists you'd be familiar with, and that just kind of set the tone for a lot of '70s R&B.
Yeah.
And some would say that kind of gave birth to the disco movement too. So yeah.
What's a little behind the scenes look at running a radio station? Do
Oh
you
my
sit
gosh.
there with your phones on, or are you busy doing administrative stuff?
Oh, there's always stuff.
While songs are playing,
Always
or
stuff. These days, it's I wouldn't say it's easier, but it's different. Back in the day, you had like you see Wolfman there, and it's
right,
got
putting
all
those
these
whatever those things are. Looks
3-minute songs, and you've got to get the next one ready. And if you were using records, I mean, we used carts by the time I started, so I didn't have to queue up a record. But if that wasn't ready,
what's a cart?
oh, cart. It's it looks like an 8-track,
Okay,
but it's what everything was on back in the day: commercials, sound effects, music, and you would have cart decks, and you'd pop them in there and push play, and hopefully it was there. But
Unless you were drunk, passed out in the ladies' bathroom.
holding on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God.
That's a
So,
good
yeah,
story.
You had to work in the phones, trying to write down. You had to keep logs of everything. You had to make sure that your commercials. Sorry about that. Is the singer? Okay. You had to make sure everything was pulled for the next break, and otherwise the song ends and you're not ready. You're screwed.
So it was a little more labor intensive.
Yes.
Sounds like than it, because now it's probably electronic.
Yes.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's on the screen. Everything's there. And my old radio dinosaur buddies, love ya. They're like, oh, that's not. I'm back in the day. We used to have to go out and take meter readings in between songs, and yeah, we had to do a lot of things. That didn't make you a better talent.
Yeah.
That just made you busier. It wasn't.
Had to go out and buy that record from the trunk of the car that was parked out in front of the radio station to play.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. What the term is? What's the term? Payola.
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, payola. That's right.
But now, I mean, all you have to focus on between songs is content. That's great. So I don't have to worry about all the administrative things while we're on the air. It's content. Like
right.
you talked about phones, getting a good phone bit. Maybe practicing the next thing I'm going to say. And I mean, there's a lot of prep that goes in to making me sound as unprepared as I do.
You're crazy. I've heard you. You don't sound unprepared at all. You mentioned that, and I had no idea.
Yeah,
I just figured it was like fly by the seat of your
Some
pants.
are. I mean, Dave Holmes, I mentioned Mr. Wonderful Dave Holmes, who was my mentor at K-Joy when I started, and he went over to Cat Country and was there for quite a few years. He was one of those guys, off the cuff.
Yeah.
Didn't need prep. He was just naturally funny, naturally exuberant, and just a natural Mr. Wonderful. I mean, if he were here right now, he would
just dominate
Absolutely.
this podcast.
Yes.
That's good. I can just sit back and relax and laugh at you guys in. I'd be good with that. Yeah.
So, but for me, no. I mean, because some days you have good days, you have bad days. Sometimes you wake up and firing on all cylinders. Other days you're like, there's not enough coffee on this planet.
Yeah.
And so preparation helps with that. And, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. So let's take the something I wonder. Let's take the news.
Okay.
Is that something that you have prepared before you get there, or is it something that's going that you just decide to talk about based on?
These days, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I just it was a multiple choice question, so I shouldn't have said yes. But so I'll go in and I'll just see what's going on, what people are talking about, whether it's national or local, and just mention about, since we're not really a news station,
Right.
it's just something that gets mentioned as, this is what's going on. But for back in the day, we used to have news departments and newscasts, and yes, it was more
Straight WKRP in
we
Cincinnati.
had the wire, it's K-Joy was AP, and that kung 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 machine is ding ding ding, and you would hear. I was, you hear. Sorry, I'm not used to working with microphones. So
No, I don't. That boys, man, goodness, I feel like I need to get right up on this microphone so I can sound like you. But yeah,
No.
can't do it.
But yeah, so news isn't as much of a thing especially in a music-based format. But it's important to talk about what's going on, and
Right.
I think that's one thing that we can offer as a local radio station that's not syndicated. We can talk about what's going on. we can talk about if there's, good, bad, and otherwise.
Yeah. Probably talk about Stockton stuff a little bit.
I love talking
too.
about it.
Yeah. I mean, you have quite a few folks from town that, whatever, if something's going on, it doesn't seem like you ever mind having them come into the station and
anytime.
talk about whatever. That's great for Stockton.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's like I said, it's one thing that we can do that, Spotify can't do.
No, Spotify can't do it. No, you're right. Not unless you got a big pockets, for sure. Spotify is. Ask Joe Rogan, right?
Exactly.
Bleep that out. Bleep that out. I don't want him coming after me.
No. You don't want that smoke?
No, I don't.
So let's see. Oh, Blair Ulring.
Yeah.
Had to mention him because when I started at Chuck E. Cheese, he was one of my general managers.
Stop it.
He was one of the guys that hired me. I interviewed with him. And it's I had moved out when I was 18, got my own apartment not too far from where Chuck E. Cheese was. And within a few months, I was working at Round Table, and I got fired like right before Christmas. And I'm like, oh, man, there goes that minimum wage.
Back then, what, $2.50 an hour?
$3.35.
Yeah.
And so I was within walking distance of Chuck E. Cheese. So I kept going in there, and they didn't have any openings. And I kind of badgered him into creating an opening. But Blair was my my manager there, and then he left and moved on. And then fast forward many years, and I'm working at the Stockton Ports, about to go into a game to do the announcing, and Johnny, and it's Blair.
Yeah.
Sitting there with a group of fellow SPD.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm like, Blair. He looked exactly the same, and it's like, I said, where we met? And he's like,
I'll tell you, what's funny is that I always heard the rumor that he was at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
I met him. He was one of the, at the time, the term, I don't know what they call them now, but I went to Delta's Academy, and at the time they were called the tax staff.
Oh, yeah.
And we had 3 of them, and he was one of them.
And he led up SWAT, didn't he?
Yeah. He was on SWAT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he went he was a lieutenant whenever I started. He was the personnel and training lieutenant, because whenever I was with Amador County, he's the one I called, and he just happened to be in the right department. I told him I was looking to lateral, and I mean, that was I'll tell you, I called him in August, and my starting date was in October.
Wow.
It went quick. Yeah.
That's great.
No, it went quick. He and I always had a pretty we had a good relationship.
Yeah.
He was all right. He was always a fun guy. He was a motor officer.
Yeah.
He was a motor officer when I was in the academy, and he was great. He was no nonsense. He'd laugh and cut up with you a little bit, but then if you got out of line, and I only know this from experience, if you got out of line, there was a group of us. We had a talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a talking to.
I imagine.
If he watches this, he'll probably snicker to himself.
Most of my friends on the force have since retired.
Oh, yeah?
Unfortunately, so I really have to be careful now when I'm out there driving. So
yeah, man. Hey, I can drive all the way through this town and not recognize one. And I've only been gone 7 years. Yeah. I mean, it's the face.
They're kids.
The face, yeah, they are. They're young. I mean, it's it's funny. Whenever I say this, whenever I Def B, you got something over there? You don't? Okay, hold on. I thought he was going to interrupt us there for a minute with some funny little Def B-ism. All right, he's thinking about what to say. All right. Whenever I started, you had the guys that were the older guys, and they'd always be like, "Oh, you kids, nothing's.
Exactly.
It's not this."
We have a caller.
No, we don't have a call. Do we?
You're on.
Who do we have? Oh, stop it. I know that laugh. Oh, my gosh.
Sounds like a radio laugh.
It does sound like it sounds like a very famous radio laugh from
nobody can touch someone who's named after an entire city, though.
Oh, this would be Kevin Smith, currently a DJ in Reno, Nevada.
Who I met at K-Win.
Yes, let's hear about this. How do you guys know each other?
Yeah, Kevin, come on.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Like, what, was it 30 years ago or more? 25, 30?
I want to say it was like 94-ish.
Yeah.
Right around there.
So, yeah, that was my math, Lincoln High, I don't know. But a lot of years ago. And, So Kevin was working on the air as, what was your on-air name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Man, let me tell you, I have some money that I would happily give you if you can remember that name.
Everybody hit me up.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to figure out what Kevin's on-air name was. And I would tell people, hey.
No,
Go ahead.
I think it was your producer, Jamie, who one day came up with, what was your on-air name? And I wouldn't tell him. So, fast forward a few years, I went into law enforcement. We're all working together at Stockton PD together. And in the middle of roll call, I think I'm a lieutenant at the time. And so I was your producer's, direct supervisor. And he puts it out to the entire roll call. Hey, if anyone can figure out this guy's name, I will make you I'll bring you a tri-tip dinner, I think was the offer. Oh. And oh my God, it motivated the masses. People were calling Johnny. People were calling DJ Walker at Cat Country.
Morris.
People were walking into the K-Win studios trying to figure out what this guy's name was.
Yeah.
And the problem is it was 30 years before. Nobody was left that would remember.
No.
Is that a challenge? I know some people.
You can't find it.
No.
Are you sure?
Really? I tried. Trust me.
Somebody found it out. I don't remember who, but it was somebody at the PD found it out. And I looked at him and went, yeah. Oh, okay.
Who was that?
I don't remember who it was.
God.
No, seriously, I don't. It was.
What was the decedent's name?
Yeah, no kidding.
This person never came forward to get their tri-tip.
Never heard from him.
But I guess his wife or somebody had a contact somewhere that, that was, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why it's such a big deal. Anyway, and Johnny, back to you. This is your show.
Oh, yeah, it is Johnny's show. And here's Johnny.
See, that's a radio voice. Kevin Smith has a radio voice.
Oh, he does.
He does.
He has a radio face, too.
Yeah. We weren't going to say that. We were going to leave that.
I was going to say that about me.
Yeah, yeah. And we should tell everybody, Kevin is, I said it, but Kevin's, you started in radio, got into law enforcement. Was it Solano? Is that right? Or
Solano County, yeah.
Solano County. Mm-hmm. Then you came to Stockton, and then now you're back on the beautiful crisp airwaves of radio station in Reno. I don't know if you want to say the radio station, so I'm not going to say it.
No, go ahead. KOZ 105.7.
Oh.
Reno's classic rock.
Hey.
Whoa, that was kind of good. Yeah, that little.
Hey, we need all the listeners we can get, bro. Download the app. It's your local app.
No. Listen to my station.
Play.
No, no.
That little soft whisper thing at the end you did. That, man, I was already giving Johnny a hard time about the Johnny Midnight. Goodness.
Kevin's the real deal.
Man, you could have been on Love Lines with back in
Drew.
the day. Yeah, Dr. Drew and Dr. Drew.
Adam Carolla.
Adam Carolla. Yeah.
The Ace Man.
We can still do it, Johnny.
All right. All right, we'll talk after this.
When I was on Graveyard, in Graveyard up in Amador, the only place I could get that get like, a radio station, I'd have to drive. I went to Plymouth, and I don't know the name of the estates now, but you would go, you'd keep going on 49, you'd take a left, and it'd take you up to the top of the hill.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the only place, you could get a real good station.
That,
what was it?
KDJK 95.1. It's like.
It was in Sacramento. I just remember that. I don't know what station it was. Must have been syndicated or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is syndication, is that where it's at?
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Live and local, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I think is Kevin still in the air?
Yeah, Kevin's here.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure the first time we met, it was at the gas station at the corner of Country Club in Pershing. Remember that? And I had inadvertently.
There was a call for service. You had in your handsome motor uniform.
Yes.
Detained some juvenile scoundrels, and you needed a patrol car to come to you.
I had inadvertently stopped at a stolen vehicle, 10851, so it came back stolen. And I think there was three or four of them. And I got them out.
Yeah.
I got them out one at a time, and I handcuffed one to one crash bar, handcuffed the other one to the other crash bar. The other one was handcuffed to the back of the motorcycle, and I needed a unit for transport. That was the first time I met Kevin, and I think he got out of the car, and he was like, "What is, what's
Come on, you could have
here?"
transported.
No, I could have. Believe me. Yeah, that was the first time Kevin and I met.
Wow.
Yep.
Good guy, man.
Oh my gosh, he was, and he was fun in motors too. Let me tell you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was a fantastic motor sergeant, no question.
I could ride basically, but couldn't ride to save my life.
Well, you had us for that. Maybe I'm not the best example right now. sitting in a wheelchair. Might not be the. Yeah, I owe that all to Kevin.
Kevin and I share the same love for Stockton as well.
Are you being serious?
No, not at all. No.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't even. This is the closest I can get him to being. The closest I can get him to being on the podcast is on that telephone right
He's
there.
nervous about it right now.
Yeah, probably. He's probably gonna.
I don't know. Somebody might do a drive-by on my house.
Exactly.
Oh man, come on, Stockton's.
I'm kidding.
Stockton's it's a quiet little bedroom community.
Well,
For
I
sure.
lived in Stockton.
if I may bring up a quote that you said to me years ago, Kevin, if that's okay. And
Okay.
it's reasonable, because I was always posting things, positive things about the city, and then he said, if you saw what I see every day, you wouldn't feel the same about the city, probably. I mean, I'm paraphrasing horribly, sorry, Kevin. And then I said, well, if you saw what I see every day, you wouldn't feel the same either.
No, you're right.
And both are right. I mean, both things can be true.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys see the worst of the worst.
Both are accurate because within every city there are bad pockets.
Yes.
And on your average citizen does not spend their day in the bad pocket of said city. So they live in whatever paradigm they have created for themselves.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I worked predominantly South Park District, and I'll tell you, it was some of the greatest. I had some of the greatest times there. I mean, on Sunday mornings, there was one lady in particular on must have been Spring Street, and she was raising her little grandkids, and I'd go by there just about every Sunday. It was an open invitation, and I'd always, put myself out there, and I'd mess with those little, rapscallions, and I'd always get breakfast, and I'll tell you, I met just as many. I mean, no, I'm not being facetious. I probably met just as many, if not more, good folks, as I did folks that you had to deal with as an officer.
When I started at KSTN, I can't tell you how many people said, "Oh my gosh, that's out there we're on the outskirts of what we used to call Crow Valley."
Oh yeah, Crow
Valley.
Yeah, we know Crow Valley.
And people would say, "Aren't you scared?" And I said, "No. I mean, there are places of North Stockton that are 10 times worse out there." So it's and it boils down to respect. And if you're not caught up, for the most part, you're not going to get caught up. I mean, it's do bad things happen to innocent people? Sure. I mean, but for the most part, if you're not living the life, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
For the most part. Is that
for sure.
Well, I think the worst thing you had at that station was the cow sticking his head in the window in the middle of the night.
Exactly. Yes.
What?
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know this story.
Well, back in the day where there was a different configuration with the studios, and when DJs would work overnight, it would get so hot in that studio because for some reason they didn't have air conditioning. And they'd open the window, and out in the pasture, the cow would come and stick its head in the window of the studio. Yes.
Little guest appearance.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, you can't, those stories are great.
So you had ag news also, agriculture news.
Exactly.
I like that.
It was utterly...
utterly. Ba-dang.
Oh, bad.
Yeah. That's a
Dude,
good one.
that's why you're Johnny Stockton, king of the morning.
I've got a million of them,
That wit.
unfortunately.
That was a good one. Utterly. Yes, Kevin. He's Reno, the Reno station up there. He has he gets the police chief on the air every once in a while.
Oh, do you know her?
I do know her. Yeah. But Kevin, he gets her on the air, and I mean, it's.
I've had her on a couple of times. She's fun.
She
enjoys it, and she's very good at it.
Yeah, she is. She is.
I think next I'm going to get for her civilian director of hiring.
Oh man, that guy's shy. I don't know if you're going to be able to get him to come out of his shell.
Well, he and I spoke last week. He's going to come on. We're going to talk about recruiting.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah,
right on. She's not afraid to say that she shamefully, or no shame whatsoever. She'll pull you right from whatever profession you're in if you're ready to go. For sure, takes them from everywhere as she should. Good.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, Kevin, it was quite the surprise. You got any other good Johnny Stockton stories before?
Oh man,
because I know it's probably close to your bedtime.
Look at the time.
Yeah, I know it's probably your bedtime right now.
Well, no, what's nice is I'm off. So
Oh boy.
Man.
let's see, Johnny Stockton story.
No.
A weird story, and I won't get into a lot of details, but Johnny met my wife without me knowing.
Yes.
All right. Well, details matter. Just saying.
Oh no, it was a professional encounter.
Yes.
She got to know the family, and she met Mrs. Stockton and Mr. Stockton and the family, and they just they hit it off, and
then I had the backyard radio
we go
reunion.
Yeah. And then we go to our little radio station reunion, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I know these people."
And I'm like, "Shh."
So it's kinda cool.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Never. I look like a lot of people.
No, I don't. I don't have any good dirt stories on Johnny.
All right. Well,
because we caught up with each other at different points in our radio career, and I was still trying to, I was just working part-time, and he was, I think it was Star 100 or something, Johnny.
Yep. Superstars of the 70s.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
We had moved from
the
palatial. We had moved from the palatial Kelly Drive studios into the wonderful Pacific Avenue studios.
Yes. Yep.
And that's when I met Johnny.
Stockton Mortgage Building, the 3-story building there.
Stockton Mortgage.
Right across from Lincoln Center. I used to say that if the L tower fell over, it would crash right into the building.
Now that you say that, I remember it being there because the sign was right on the front of the building.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you say that, I forgot. Right next to Bank of Stockton.
Yeah. And I started there as KWG, and then we had an FM that I turned to Star 100. It was Superstars of the 70s, and I had about 6 months programming that, and it didn't
didn't take off.
Didn't take off. I mean, I think in all fairness, it could have, but it didn't. Not out. It was
also that. It was also that whack job you put on mornings temporarily to do it too. So
that could have been it too. Yes. Wait, I was doing mornings. What are you talking about?
My only other foray into morning radio.
Oh,
my.
Yes.
Look at this radio history.
So Jamie, you got a good one there. The man is a legend. I mean, anybody who starts in this business at, what was it, 15, Johnny? Or 16?
No, actually 19, late.
19. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
you were really late.
And I wanted to start later.
But it's still doing it consistently to this day. He's a legend, man.
No, I know. Believe me, whenever he started, how long ago did you start 105.9? It's been a long time.
Oh yeah, it's I want to say, let's see. Again, my math is bad. Sorry, Lincoln High School. It was 2014.
Oh yeah, no, that's probably about right.
About 12 years. Yeah.
Wow, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean it's by far the longest gig I've ever had in this business. Yeah. When I started in radio, they said the average job was about 6 months. I mean, because some are much longer and some are much sooner. So yeah, I was like, oh. I knew what I was getting into, but I did it anyway.
Right on. And good for you.
This worked out. I mean, we talked before about how radio's nenever paid the bills.
Yeah.
Which is why I have so many side hustles. And
Right. We'll get into those.
Yeah, we will.
How long's KOZZ been around?
Long time.
1979 at KOZZ.
Oh, my word. Yeah. All right. Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Right on.
And does he? I mean, you sound great. Every time I've streamed you, man, all seriousness, you sound great on that morning show. Like you haven't missed a beat.
Sir, I appreciate that. As Nick Cage would say, that's high praise.
The first time I listened to Kevin after he got there, I turned it on. I think it was a Motley Crue song or Bon Jovi or something like that. I don't know what it was. Anyway, I texted him And I said, hey, man, I thought you said this was classic rock. And then he typed back, he goes, yeah, it is. That song's 30 years old. I
We're
was
old.
like, whoa, all right. I'm not listening to you anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, remember that?
I do. Well, you got to think. I mean, 1996 was 30 years ago. So, I mean, technically, we could play songs from then.
I'd prefer you don't.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, that's
I know
good.
it's depressing.
All right. Although, hey, I'm telling you, White Snake. I mean, I liked them all. Rat. I mean, I was.
Oh man, that's what
I was into the
playing.
hair bands.
I was playing that at
80s
K-Win.
hair bands.
Yeah, I loved listening to them. I still do.
Warrant.
Yeah.
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 Played all those at K-Win back in the late 80s. Yep.
You heard the current, I guess it'd be a collaboration. It's Snoop Dogg doing a Tom Petty song.
Oh.
Yeah, Snoop
Oh,
Dogg.
man.
Tom Petty's in the back. You got Jelly Roll on there. It's a great song to listen to. Yeah, no, it's good. Look it up. It's in fact, I listened to it this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right after
Yeah,
it came on right after David Allen Coe. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm all over the place.
Eclectic, yep. Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thanks for letting me let me hijack your podcast for a little bit to talk to the legend there, Jamie. I appreciate it.
It was a great surprise. I'm glad old Def B over there got you in. I didn't even know it.
Definitely a great surprise. Love you, brother.
All right, love you, Johnny. Be great.
Talk to
That's
you later.
Johnny Be Good.
No,
Nobody
good's
has.
not good enough.
That's true.
Be great.
You sound like my old general manager. Good enough isn't.
Killing me.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Enjoy.
All right, take care.
Talk to you.
Good night now.
Well, that was a
That
neat.
was-
That was kind of a neat
that was a great
surprise.
surprise.
I
Wow.
did not know that was going to
Yeah.
happen. He's a good dude. He was great to work with.
I would run into cops and I have to say that my respect for police officers was beaten into me as a kid because cops, it's still, I cringe because in my household, that was seriously considered like a bad word.
Cops?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Not because of who they are,
Right.
but because that was impolite. That was too formal. They are police officers.
Yeah.
You know, on TV, I hear them called other things.
I was just saying, I've been called a lot worse than a cop. I promise you, a lot worse.
But yeah, that was not acceptable. That was not acceptable in my house growing up. But you know, I would run into fellow law enforcement officers and say, "Oh yeah, you work with somebody I used to work with in radio, Kevin Smith," and they'd say, "Want him back?"
You know, it's funny. He had the same wit, you know, that he has now.
Oh, yeah.
Then, and I mean, it's hilarious. You just have to, you know, it's great for radio.
Mhm.
Not
Not always.
for other folks. They don't get it. You
Yep.
know, and I mean, I'd just be laughing. I thought
I've
it was.
learned that in life.
I
that,
thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can find humor in things that, believe me, have no place being humorous.
I've been told before, you know, Johnny, not everything's funny, and I'm like,
no,
kind of is.
it is. Oh yeah, morbidly
Yes,
funny.
yes. And yeah, I was, like I said, I was gifted that by my parents, morbid sense of humor,
Yeah,
and it has seen me through tough times.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You have to be able to laugh at everything. I mean, yeah, not everything is funny, but you can. You know,
There's humor in it.
yeah. If I don't
somewhere.
laugh, I'll cry.
Yeah, there's humor in just about everything. You
Yes.
just have to really get below the top
Exactly.
layers. There's humor there.
And sometimes people, I'll mention something that's really like inappropriate, and people just, oh my,
Yeah,
they want to laugh, but
they're not as gifted as you and I. For
that's
sure.
a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, not as gifted. So in radio, how is it? Is it the advertising? Is that what? Is it the advertising that like keeps the lights on?
Oh yeah.
Oh
for
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you don't probably nothing from playing the music.
No.
Or
No,
okay.
we don't. Yeah, we actually have to pay to play. I
Oh,
mean, it's
really?
not per, but yeah, at the end of the year, we have to pay the licensing agencies.
Okay.
And there was a time when I worked at K-Win where the ratings were so bad, and we didn't get record service, so we'd have to go across to Tower Records and actually buy songs, and that's virtually unheard of.
Oh, wow.
But so yeah, we don't. Record companies will send.
All right.
I mean, not anymore. You get it online, but
Right.
back in the day, they would send. And then when you're successful, they send all kinds of things to give away
Mm-hmm.
or keep. But yeah, advertising is what makes the world go around. Didn't realize that when I was a kid. I just thought, wow, what a cool thing. You can go.
I'm getting paid to
play
do
and
this.
get paid, and it's like, oh no. It's advertising. That's what drives everything.
Yeah.
Drives television and everything. The important thing is towing the line and not. You don't want to piss off the advertisers, but you don't want to cater. They're not programming the radio station. And so you want to, offer programming. I've always said we have two different clients. We have the advertisers and we have the listeners. And the listeners are the ones we're serving.
They're probably going to drive what you advertise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I've been asked a couple of times at this, my little endeavor here that I just enjoy talking to people with, if it's sponsored or anything like that. And it's not. If it's sponsored by anybody, it's probably CalPERS, right? Because I'm paying for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. But, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want, at this point, I don't know if I'd want a sponsor, I mean, I don't want to be told what I can talk about, what I can't talk about, who I can have. I don't think I need it. Maybe at some point I will.
And
I'm sure there's ways to monetize this. I've never looked into it at all.
I mean, you have so many people doing podcasts now, and it's monetizing it is, and you never know it's going to hit. You never know. I mean, this could blow up, next year, this year, whatever. No thanks to this particular episode.
No,
but,
I don't believe that at all. Phone's probably going to be ringing off the hook here shortly. Yeah, ringing off the hook.
But you just never know. I mean, you can put out the best product and crickets, and then eventually something hits. I mean, if people knew what it takes, everybody'd be doing it.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. It is not a. I mean, it took me a couple years for sure. I mean,
we talked about it.
Yeah, I wanted to be right. I didn't want to. I mean, one of the biggest things people don't listen to podcasts for is the sound is terrible. You hear dogs barking in the background, and not that couldn't happen here, but I mean, this studio, it's getting ready to move a little bit, so it'll. It's going to change. It's going to change.
You did it right. People can't see what's going on behind the scenes, but you've got the right equipment. You did it well.
Well, thank you. Right. That means a lot coming from you. You're in the business. My goodness. Yeah. So what are some of your, you keep mentioning side hustles.
Yes.
What do you got? I want to hear about.
CalPERS, and I'm like, yeah. They've warned me not to. I had a family member years ago when I had been fired from K1, the one and only time I've been fired from radio so far. Still early in the day.
That voice. Yeah.
And she said, hey, come to the Port of Stockton. There's an opening. Da-da-da-da-da. It was in the mailroom. And I was like, yeah, well, you'll be out driving around and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, I don't feel it. And then decades later, she said, you'd be retired by now and drawn a pretty good, because I wouldn't have stayed there. I would have moved up. The person that took that job got into this and that. And I was like, yeah, like I said, I knew what I was getting into with radio. There's no retirement unless I throw toward it.
Right.
And so I've always had side hustles from the very beginning. When I was at KJoy, I remember working a boiler room doing for the Clement Stampede.
Oh, yeah.
So I worked overnights, but 5 to 9 at night, I would tell my wife, hey, I'm running off to do this job real quick. And I would call people. Can you imagine calling people at home these days?
Oh, to get to try. Oh yeah, no, I can't.
It was a nonprofit,
right?
Selling tickets for the rodeo and and
Clement Stampede.
Yeah. I mean, the job sucked, but it was like $5 an hour, and that was a lot more than I was making in radio.
Yeah, more than you're making at Chuck E. Cheese,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So you were the announcer for the ports?
Yes.
Is that right?
For 8 seasons? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And that was one of those things. Dan Chapman, old friend.
Such a good guy.
Yeah, and he hit me up, and I guess he had gone through the Rolodex, because I know for a fact he had already hit up Dave Bowling and Dave Holmes, and he finally got to the Jays. And I'm like, Dan, I don't know anything about baseball. I mean, I don't, and he said, you'll learn that. We just want, bring your personality, and you'll learn the game. And I was like, And at that time, I was programming K-Win, so busier than hell.
Yeah.
And then I agreed to it, and then I tried to get out of it, before the season started. Find somebody else. And they were, no, you're good. So I did it, and let me tell you, I replaced an announcer, Buddy Meacham, who was beloved.
Okay.
Fans loved him. And there was new ownership, and the fans weren't happy about that because it was they felt like it was a corporate thing, and then they brought this DJ on. I mean, people wrote to the newspaper. People
welcoming you.
Yes, yes. I mean, no, that I was hated.
Yeah.
People hated me, and I did. I mean, I sucked at the beginning, and it was about midway through the season. I remember it was the 3rd of July fireworks. We had a doubleheader.
And this was, for people listening, this was probably a Billy Hebert
It was
field,
Billy
right?
Hebert Field,
yeah.
yes.
All right.
The summer of 1991.
Yeah.
And they had told me when I started, the announcer can affect the score of the game. And I'm like, I've got to suit up. I'm not, by getting the crowd going, the crowd motivates the players, on and on and on. And I saw that happen at this 4th of July game, I don't know when it was. It was the summer of 1991. And we had, we went into extra innings, which was good because we had fireworks coming and it was still light outside. But getting the crowd going, I had this rally music and stuff, and I saw it happen. I mean, the game, the Ports pulled ahead and we won. I was like, wow, this is cool. Then throughout that season, I started to get better. And then by the end of it, my 8 seasons, they were sending other announcers from the California League to shadow me. They would say,
really?
yeah, well, just watch this guy. And that was a really nice, because I was just having fun.
Right.
And if I got bored, I would be like, oh, I'm going to bring this sound effect. So I had, if the foul ball, glass breaking. And if it was in the stands, I had like Three Stooges sound as the kids are scrambling. And there were certain rules. I mean, that's pretty strict. I didn't realize until I started there. Yeah. That you're 90 seconds between innings, and that's it. And if music goes over, the ump. So I had everything very carefully calculated. And I didn't realize how professional minor league baseball was until I started at the Ports. I just thought, it's just kind of a fun thing that you go out there and play around, and it's very serious. And I had a great time, and Dan allowed me complete creative freedom.
Oh, right on.
It was
because he was what, the general manager? General manager.
Yes,
yeah, I remember that.
And his first season was the season prior, and the lights went out on opening night. There was an accident. And so that whole neighborhood around Billy Hebert Field, power outage.
Yeah.
So they had to cancel. I mean, this huge sold-out crowd and everything. And
they had to make their way to their cars.
Exactly. Fortunately, it was still, well, no, it wouldn't have been like, because that's April. Yeah, it's still dark early. Yeah, but it was a great time. And every year, every season when it would approach, I'd be like, I don't know how I can do this. I'm working all day and then get home. Hey, guys, bye. I'm going to work now and be at the ballpark until sometimes 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, for sure. Then you had to get up and go.
Yep.
Early mornings.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Good for you.
And then I left radio early on in that, and I for a while I was running my own studio from my house, which I still do. That's really the bread and butter. So that's another one of my. That's not really the side hustle. All these other things. Radio has become the side hustle.
What?
So I do.
What goes on in that studio?
0.9% financing for 60 months on credit approval.
Oh,
car commercials have kept the Milford house afloat for many decades.
Have you ever thought of reading books for Audible? Oh my man!
I don't have that kind of attention span.
Yeah, I could listen.
60-second commercial, I can get through that.
I can listen to a book with the best of them. You put a book in front of me, and I will fall asleep.
Yes, every time. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be able to read. I can't because I fall asleep.
Oh,
and I'll be like 30 minutes later, I'm on the same page, and I didn't realize Oh yeah,
Catherine, she can read a book, text, watch TV, and just almost give it back to you verbatim what she just read an hour ago.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's amazing.
God, I can barely remember the copyright date.
My son and I watch a lot of Hong Kong cinema, old Hong Kong cinema, and Japanese, and so he insists on watching it in the original language with subtitles.
Oh, I would hope. Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, you got to watch the action and read, but that reading just all of a sudden I'm like, Dad, are you awake? Yeah, no, I didn't fall asleep. No.
Subtitles, they're a gift. Like, one of my favorite series, has been Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah,
I watched it.
You can't understand what they're saying.
Watched it all the way through, and I knew what happened.
Right.
But then somebody suggested I go back and watch it with subtitles. When you watch it with subtitles,
Yes.
completely different show, and
Definitely.
it made more sense to me.
And you get to an age that
you can't hear.
We have subtitles on all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
On every show, all the time.
yeah. No, if I don't, my neighbors can hear the TV. You know,
Yes.
I have hearing aids, but nah, I'd rather just go old school and not hear. You know,
For now.
be like my grandfather. Yeah, yeah.
Some
All
things
the
you
time.
don't want to hear.
So you read ad reads,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
and is that for 105, or is that just for anybody?
For anybody, yeah.
Oh, really?
So I've for many years I've had commercials run everywhere, all over the. And one of the biggest thrill I ever had was listening to my commercials on KCBS, All News 74, San Francisco. Be listening to that, and my commercial for Colton Piano or some old. I mean, we're going back decades now, but yeah, I never lost that thrill.
Can you talk about any of the ones you have going right now?
Yeah, I do a lot of like the Meta commercials in Sacramento, the auto dealerships.
Oh, yeah.
And those, I don't use my voice. I contract other voices. And so I do the production part of it. And then that's one thing I started early on too, was using other voices too, because I can only go so far with mine. And it's like, oh man, you're on everything. So,
Are you one of those that read the legal disclaimers
yes.
real fast
Yes,
at the end, blah,
that's
blah, blah,
me.
blah,
Yep.
blah, and go?
That's me,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, wow.
0.9% financing for 60 months on credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. California Milk Advisory Board. And then one of the old, you remember these guys?
You bet I do. Rock bottom beds. That's
I remember opening my business account at Bank of Stockton, and you do radio production, commercial production. What would I know you from? And I said, well, one that's running all the time is Rock Bottom. She's like, oh, you do those? I'm
yeah.
like, yeah. Sorry. Do I still get the account? Yeah. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the building that Collins is in now?
Yes, originally the big yellow building was
Right.
across the street, and then the last one Linda opened was where Collins Electric is.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Not yellow anymore.
No, not yellow anymore.
No.
But man, does he have a light show going on out there, doesn't he? And that
Yes.
size of that
It's-
of that flag, goodness.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
You know, I'll just Genie. He is probably one of the kindest,
Yes.
men
Yep.
I've ever known. And I met him in the early '90s playing racquetball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a smoking racquetball player.
West Lane?
It was
Quail
West
Lakes.
Lane.
It was usually one
No,
of
it
those
was
two.
it was West Lane. That's where I'd go.
Yeah.
And he was a great racquetball player. I mean, he was fun to play with. He was
They're
a good
great
good guy.
community citizens.
We
I
have-
think they're
Oddly, I mean, we became friends, and he is just super. I can't say enough good about that guy.
Yeah.
In fact, I should try and wrangle Genie into being on this for sure. He'd
You
be
should.
great. Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a good guy. Good guy for sure. Side hustles. All right.
Yeah.
So you do that.
Yeah, I'm also an IHSS caregiver for my best friend who's disabled, Jerry, and so I basically help him out at home every day and bring him lunch and annoy him with my attempts at humor, and
Yeah.
been doing that for a few years, and also church janitor and custodian, believe it or not. Been doing that for like 16 years. Never thought I'd still be doing that. Did that before I got here. So
You are you are a busy guy.
Yeah.
I had no
and-
idea.
and some other things too, which don't come to mind right away. But yeah, always.
Some other things that pay the
I
bills.
edit a newsletter every month for a ladies organization, and yeah. So I mean, if I'm approached with something and it makes sense, and I can make it work without pissing everybody off,
Yeah.
because you can't please everybody.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
And so yeah, it's there was a period of time when I was just running my studio, and that was it.
Yeah.
Just commercials from early in the morning to late at night. There would be times when my wife would knock on the studio door and, "Have you eaten today?" "Oh, it's only 6:30 p.m. Stop. Let's go." And I'd be like 2 pots of coffee and yeah, then I had to start worrying about my health and
Yeah.
making sure that I take care of myself and not do stuff like that. But business used to be just crazy.
You have any famous any any like DJ heroes or anything
Oh,
like that of
yeah.
yours that you've met?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I can remember when I was a Art Bell, right?
Yeah.
East of the Rockies
Yes,
and west
yeah.
of the Rockies.
Did you go down and meet him?
No, I never
Okay,
did.
yeah.
I never did. I I've seen his. I went down the rabbit hole with a documentary on that guy,
Yes.
and my goodness, I had no. I mean, he lived out
Yeah.
Pahrump.
Yeah.
Pahrump, right? Over
Yeah.
the. If you're in Las Vegas, it's over the hump in Pahrump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
That's right.
My good friend, now I'm drawing a blank, of course. I'm at that age. Old Reno radio guy, long since retired. It'll come to me when I'm not trying to think of it, but he was the voice of Art Bell. And just you talk about, oh man, this guy sounds like he has 3 balls. This guy must have had 17 because he was like, durr. And he sounded like that when he used to go to UOP back in the day and worked at KWG many, many years ago. He sounded like that when he was a teenager. Oh man.
Just one of those really deep voices.
There you
yeah,
go, right
yeah.
there.
You got to really dig deep to get to it. Yeah.
But no, it was. I grew up listening to a lot of people that I later worked with,
Yeah.
or worked for, or they worked for me, or I hired them to do voice work. So it's a small business. I mean, you talk about radio or the world. Small world. Radio is a very small business, and if you step on somebody's toes, it's the person you're going to be working with or for tomorrow.
Wow.
So yeah, you gotta be very careful. What's that? 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
In radio, I promise you, it's 1 degree. If I don't know this person, I know many people that do know this person. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it in radio. Everybody is connected.
No matter what market you go to, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, yeah, KFRC I grew up with. That's
Oh, yeah.
little bit. I mean, it was
KFRC, was that? No, maybe I'm getting it confused with. What was
610 KFRC.
What was the sport? Oh yeah, what was his?
KNBR.
What was his name?
Dr. Don?
Yes, Dr.
Yeah.
Don.
So,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I grew up listening
Wow.
to that. Yeah.
Pulled that one out of the hard drive there. I can't believe I remember that.
And there are a handful of
Ralph, I used to listen to Ralph Barbieri.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
nasally little voice that guy had, man. He would
Exactly.
dress you down if you didn't, oh my word. He was great.
Yeah, he was very good at what he did.
Enjoyed listening to him.
Yeah.
I'm not even really particularly a sports fan. I mean, it's the Stanley Bowl Super Cup's what I call it, because I can't even. I mean, it's like the Chargers. The Chargers could be playing the A's for all I
I'm
know.
glad to hear you say that, man, because I've
Yeah.
often said
yeah.
I've often said I'm not from here. I'm just here to learn your strange ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like my dad was the ultimate sports fan. I grew up in the house. I mean, did he love the Giants or the A's? Yes.
Yeah.
Did he love the Raiders or the 49ers? Yes.
Yeah.
So he loved it all. I mean, UOP games, we would go down to the Civic Auditorium. Back then they called it the Pit, way before the Spano Center. And I was 2 blocks from there. I grew up in an old Victorian house on Fremont and Madison. So we would go to.
Oh, Fremont and Madison.
Yeah.
Those are great. Those
Yeah,
are great homes over there.
Yeah, it was. Now that house is still around. It's in Tracy. They bought it and
Moved it?
on a barge.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway, so I grew up. That's how I learned K-Joy, because it was just right there, and the Civic Auditorium, and we would go to UOP games. My dad was from the Fresno area,
Mm-hmm.
and so when they would play Fresno State, he was all about it. But he didn't care. I mean,
Bulldogs.
yeah.
Yeah.
If Fresno State won, great. If UOP won, great.
Yeah.
He was not a hater. I mean, he loved boxing. He loved basketball. He loved, Warriors big time. Loved baseball, football, all of it. And
I don't know that I have the attention span to
Not
sit
so
there and just
much.
watch a whole football.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like, my favorite football team is the Seattle Seahawks, only because I think they have the best looking uniform.
how'd they do?
Yeah. I think they won, didn't they? I think they.
Yes.
Well, I have friends that are good 40. I don't even want to talk
They'll
about it.
let you
Just-
know.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'll just stay out of the 49er thing. I'm not even going to talk about it. No opinion. No opinion.
So, yeah, I mean, I keep up with it because I need to be relevant and talk about it. But for the most part, I just don't. Going back to the ports, it's like I would tell Dan, it's like, if I can just make this first game, if I can make it to halftime, they'd be like, I'm kidding, Dan. I know there's no halftime. I'm just kidding.
Halftime. That's me for sure. Yeah. Where's the Super Bowl going to be? Talladega this year? It's just not my wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's
I don't have the
interesting.
attention span.
I figured you for a big sports fan.
No.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm not even a little sports fan. No, I try. Like he's a Dodger. I mean, one of the Dodgers, right? What, the San Francisco Dodgers? Is that what it is, or something like that? Oh,
You're supposed to wave with all fingers.
yeah. I can't that finger at me like that. Goodness. Yeah, yeah.
You have it coming from all
You must have
sides.
been looking at old Johnny Cash right there. Well, you know, it is. Is there anything else you want to talk
Oh,
about?
my gosh.
I mean, the forum's yours. I mean, it's.
There's a lot to talk about.
I love talking. I mean, just because I know Stockton's had such a. I mean, there's always been radio stations around here. Never a TV station. I know they had their little,
Well,
whatever
Channel
you call
13
them.
used to be.
It was out at the warehouse, right?
Well,
Was it at the
prior to
warehouse?
that, it was on Minor Avenue. It was
I didn't know
originally
that.
licensed to Stockton, a Stockton television station, and then Sacramento. Kind of, there's a story there. But when I was a kid, and I mentioned I was on Captain Delta. It was an old early morning cartoon type show, and Jim Keating was Captain Delta, and he would say, "Oh, kids," and they'd play cartoons, and that was on Minor Avenue, right? Just
Didn't know that.
just a little east of St. John's Church.
Yeah,
there.
yep.
Yeah. And that's where Channel 13
St. John's is
studios
the one right on the corner, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What's that? Like
Big
one of
brick-
the oldest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big brick one.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Deacon Steve Bentley, I think, is one of the first things he did. There used to be a wrought iron fence around it.
Yep.
Took that down. He did not like that. Not trying to close people out. I mean, we understand why they put up the fence,
I'm not saying it. Yeah,
but I like that.
sometimes fences serve a purpose.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm. Yep. But yeah, I mean, I could go on all day about Stockton and my love for it, and working for Ort Loftus. He has a freeway named
Has
after
his
him.
own freeway
Yes.
named after him. That's
I
right.
mean, he was great, and people like Ort, people like Doug Wilhoit. There's so
Yep.
many people that could live anywhere else
Yeah.
quite well and do well. They chose to stay in Stockton, and I love that. I admire that, and that's me. I mean, if you had told me 20, 30, 40 years ago that I'd still be in Stockton, no way. I mean, it's career limiting for radio. It's also
Not a big market.
no, not huge.
Yeah.
And then once you've burned all the bridges, it's
You're walking on ashes.
but it's no. I mean, this is I love it. It's my home. It's given me a great education,
Yeah.
not just school learning, but when you grow up in Stockton, you have a certain way. You have a perception.
You learn people skills.
You learn people skills. You learn how to size people up very quickly. You
Yeah.
learn how to sniff out situations very quickly.
Yeah.
And you can't grow up in Stockton and be naive.
No. You won't last long.
No.
I heard it said. I heard it said when I was a kid somewhere that Stockton is it is a little city with big city problems.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think that describes it. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Well,
you know?
Sean Fenner, when he was here, he mentioned working in the East Bay in Oakland and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, parts of Stockton, much worse.
Oh yeah. No,
Wow.
we've had guys come from. We got that title. We've had, there was officers that came from Southern California that worked here for a very short time, and they went back. They didn't Stockton's, 1,000 calls a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, not all of it's calls for service, but it's a call into that dispatch center, and a lot of them you get dispatched to, or they're handled by a telephone report unit if they even still have that. I don't even know if they do or not.
Yeah.
TRU or CSOs, community service officers, go out and handle them.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, 1,000 calls a day. That's a lot.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
sure. It wears you out.
Mm-hmm.
Some shifts you'd have 1 or 2 reports, and other shifts you were there 6-7 hours overtime writing the 10 or 12 reports that you had, and you hadn't even got to book any evidence yet.
And people will always say, "Man, it's gotten so much worse." It's not the Stockton it was when I was a kid. That's because you were a kid.
All right.
And you were sheltered from it. You weren't really paying attention. I was strolling the streets of downtown, much to the chagrin of my parents when I was a little kid. So I saw what was going on.
You were deep in the bowels.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and it smelled like it.
Yeah, some places. Yeah.
And in the early '70s, there was. We had gang activity. I mean, this whole city was founded on crime and corruption. I mean, it's a Delta city. It's a port city. It's got you have 2 major freeways. You have a workforce that comes in and out. You have all kinds of things that are going to be conducive to
For sure.
a crime environment.
Yeah.
People, the city council has gotten this. It hasn't gotten anything. It's always, I mean, I can tell you stories about city councils from decades ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've always had our struggles. But I think Neil Peart from Rush said it best in a song. I feel the sense of possibilities. I feel the wrench of hard realities. I mean, that's basically it.
That's pretty good.
That's the realness.
Yeah.
You know, we have so much potential. And, you know, maybe we'll live up to it someday, but we can't stop trying.
Nope. I would agree with that. You know, and everything else we talked about, it ebbs and flows, right?
Yep.
Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's not so great.
Yes. Yep.
So, well, it has been fantastic
Likewise.
having you on. I was very, very happy when you said you'd be on this.
I'm honored to be here. I mean that. It's
been great. Where can they find Johnny Stockton 105.9? Oh, and I'll tell you, I told you about it last week. I'm going to get a picture up here that you had a little community. There was a community event going out on Trinity Parkway.
Oh, yes.
And it was in the Chevron parking lot.
Did you spin the wheel?
I spun the wheel, and I won a T-shirt, man. I got that. Somebody took that. I don't know who, but somebody took a picture of me. I was holding up that T-shirt, and I'm not kidding. I still have that T-shirt to this day.
We had a lot of spun listeners.
105 spun listeners. I have that 105.9 Bull T-shirt to this day that I still wear.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I should have worn that instead.
Yeah. American Top 40. Now you got to give always Casey. He's legend right there.
Moving up 5 notches this week.
Jeez.
105.9.
Yeah.
On the FM, and then we're also on the AM at 1420, the old KSTN. And not streaming anymore.
Not streaming, okay.
No, not streaming.
All right. All right. Can they listen? I bet they can listen to you live, though. You got to have a website. Yeah, website, listen to you live.
No, because that would be streaming. And so, just on the radio.
All right. I thought maybe there was a live button there somewhere.
There was at one time. It's probably still up there.
All right.
Click it. See what happens.
All right. Okay. I'll do it. See what happens. Maybe we'll cut you on there. All right. It's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All righty.
You just experienced the Rolling Around podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe for more thrilling stories, exciting adventures, and special guests from all over. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rolling Around Podcast. Do you want to be on our next episode? Contact us at the Rolling Around Podcast at gmail.com or give us a ring on our trap phone at 209-242-5814. Thanks for watching. See you next time.